Hello, friends. Robert Bevan here, author of the Caverns and Creatures series of comedy, fantasy novels, and short stories. With me is Sam West, and today we're going to be talking about the spell Grasping Vine. All right. What does this spell do, Sam?
Grasping Vine's a bonus action, concentration for up to a minute, 4th level, Druid Ranger. So really just Druid. You conjure a vine in the ground, and when you cast it on each turn as a bonus action, you can cause it to lash out at a creature you see within 30 feet of it. It makes a dex save or is pulled 20 feet towards the vine. And that's it. It just...
There's no damage.
No damage.
Even more interesting to me is that this creature is not grappled or anything.
Nope.
There's no saving throws. There's just like pulled 20 feet, and their movement is not impeded at all beyond that.
Yeah.
That's weird.
That's where I land on this. I mean, the creature makes a dex save. If they fail it, they pull 20 feet towards the center, notably.
Or yeah, when I said no saving throws, I meant like to be restrained or held or whatever. You think if you're grasped, it almost feels like something they forgot to put in there. But it is what it is.
Every time I read this, I'm like, I must have missed something. And then I read it again. I'm like, there's definitely something else. And then I go through it. I'm like, there's like 10 words missing at least. Like I don't know. I really struggle with this. Grasping Vine is
pulled 20 feet toward the source of the vine.
Yeah.
That's not even a full standard move.
Yep.
That makes it very easy to, you're not going to get pulled twice.
Yeah. This has to go on ground. So like the odds of you having something within 30 feet of it that's in between the center of the vine and where the creature is fairly low, right? Like if you wanted to put this over a ravine, the gap has to be within, like you have to find ground to put the vine on and then yoink something 20 feet towards it so it falls in a hole. That seems far-fetched. This is a thing that you...
Got one.
Okay.
Now, you got it on one side of the ravine, but your friends are on the other side, and they can't quite make the jump. So they jump as far as they can, and it grasps them the rest of the way.
That's a really cool idea to use it for that. I, as a DM, would absolutely say that's how that works. Unfortunately, like, I don't think mechanically that's what would occur, because like the creature would jump and fall, and I don't think there's a window where the druid will then take a turn and yoink them, right? So again, your mileage may vary based on your DM. I think that's a really great use of what I think is a really underwhelming spell otherwise. So I would absolutely say yes to that kind of thing, especially because that's not like a super powerful effect. But it's definitely nifty. Can you think of any other ways, like in combat, this just requires someone else having set up on top of the vine, right? Like you need to have a cloud of daggers, you need to have a wall of fire, you need to have something that this is pulling creatures through. You need to be putting this like a blade barrier or something in order for it to be useful, right?
Yeah, I guess that's a way it could be useful.
I mean, otherwise, like you get a fixed point that you can pull things to so long as they're within 30 feet of it. So if they just move out of 30 feet of it, it's not that great. If you're within 30 feet of it and trying to like pull them back from you again, like you said, it's just a single move to get there. It doesn't come with difficult terrain or anything, and it really feels like it should, or it should come with like the creature's grappled until the start of it, your next turn or something. Right. There should be other words here that like it can be used as a meaningful restraining option. Because as written, I'm pretty convinced a first level entangle is just better than this for what you're trying to get.
This is fourth
if your
level.
Objective is to like, yeah.
Who's this for?
I don't know. This isn't like, this feels like a spell because it takes your bonus action. I'm like, okay, so this doesn't really cost you action economy that heavily in a class that doesn't often, like, you have summoning magic that came out recently that lets you bonus action control things, so like that's better than this. But otherwise, if you're not doing the summoning magic thing, this is a way to use your bonus action as a druid, so that's kind of handy. But it just doesn't do anything. Moving somebody 20 feet towards a fixed point does not seem particularly useful, especially when the fixed point is just, it has to be within 30 feet of you to catch. Like, you can't put this 120 feet away from you. You can't put the 60 feet away from you. This has to be within 30 feet of you, which means if you put it within 30 feet of you and it pulls something towards it, almost certainly that thing can move at it, like get to you its coming turn, unless you like do it, move back 30 feet, and then you force it to dash in a weird way. We could just move back twice. Then I don't know. It hurts my brain. It doesn't. Creatures that get pulled by it don't provoke attacks of opportunity, so you can't use this to like lay into something with a bunch of free attacks. If that they could have added that text, this spell becomes a lot more interesting, because then it's like a way to proc attacks of opportunity, and it's kind of like this cool supportive druid spell where you're showcasing your 5 front lines by like yoinking things back, getting attacks of opportunity on them, getting a bunch of free stuff. That seems nifty, but that's not what the spell does. It doesn't have that text. The ground isn't difficult terrain or anything like we said earlier, so it's not really a great way at controlling movement. It only affects one creature at a time. It doesn't grapple or restrain. It's a 4th level spell.
Yeah, I mean,
I
the
feel like
only
I'm missing
the only
something.
use I could think of is, like you said, with the blade barrier or something, pulling something into it. But I mean, Thunder Wave could push somebody into that. Nah, I don't know. That's 1st level.
And like even in the blade barrier example, you have to be within 30 feet of a blade barrier that, as we talked about prior, it's a 2-way street. If you're trying to mess around with giants or big hulking creatures, they can pick you up and meat grind you too.
Yeah.
Being within 30 feet of that doesn't seem particularly wise. And even in that situation, the vine's going through the blade barrier, which then means your mileage may vary as to whether your DM's like, yeah, that can work. Do you say that a piece of foliage can go through a gigantic barrier of swirling knives? I mean, again, if I'm DMing it, I'm saying, yeah, because this spell's so bad that I have to let it do something cool.
What is there? There's nothing.
Yeah, but otherwise you're just getting chopped cucumber, right? That's just what happens.
Yeah, I can't make heads or tails of the spell.
It seems unusable. I've never seen it cast. I really hope comments tell me that they got really cool things to happen with this. If you're in the specific environment where there's like a really holy floor full of holes, not one of Sacred Christ, then you can like pull things into the holes using the grasping vine, in which case I promise you your DM built that encounter to highlight grasping vine, because there's no other world that really happens all that much. I don't know. It's in dungeons, it's not good because the environment's gonna be really tight, and the extra 20 foot isn't meaningful. This could have this could pull 60 feet, and I'd be like, okay, at least it eats a dash every once in a while. At least you have a big area of control, like yoink things backwards. And it's kind of expending actions. This doesn't even really expend actions.
No.
I don't see it. I think this is worse than 1st level spells. I think this is.
Well, I mean, even at 1st level, I can't think of a use for it.
Yeah. I'm like, when do you?
It feels like a cantrip that you'll never use.
Honestly, Thorn Whip at least does damage and pulls them towards you, both of which I think are going to be often more reliable. Like, you're having damage attached to this kind of effect seems important. Having something else attached to this movement seems really important to making it better than just what it is. Gust of Wind has really interesting positioning, at least, and creates difficult terrain in the gust. You can do neat things in tunnels and stuff with Gust of Wind. I'm still not a huge advocate for being that powerful of a spell, but at least it like moves things in a more powerful manner. It creates a more interesting dynamic environment. It has all of the upsides that I'd be looking for with something that's supposed to do this kind of effect. And it's a 2nd level spell. I don't see it.
Yeah, you could talk all night about how this is not useful. I feel like we're going around in circles now.
Agreed.
All right, you got a score?
This is a 1. I can't conceive of a world where this is usable.
4th level. Jeez Louise.
4th, yeah.
All right, I will posit this question to you.
Hit me with it.
Has any ranger ever taken this spell?
You know the answer. The answer to that question should be no. I feel bad for the 3 in existence that have and are like, oh, I'll do the cool trapper thing where I'll like hold them up by the root and dangle them in the air and it'll be sweet. And the DM will be like, no, that's not what the spell does. And they'll be like, oh, I don't get to make a trapper. Oh, I don't get to do that. Oh, and then it'll be sad and they'll change it the next time they get a level.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was grasping fine, everyone. Thank you,
Imagine
Sam.
being 13th level and getting access to this.
Yes.
Nope.
Sam, no. Yes, as what you said before. Viewers, if you got anything, drop them in the comments. Educate us.
This seems horrible. Please tell us how this isn't a 1. I can't see it. Thanks for watching, though.
All right. Yeah. Thank you, Sam. And thank you, everyone, for listening and watching. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching. If you found this helpful, informative, or entertaining, I'd really appreciate it if you hit the like button below. You needn't smash it, a gentle tap will suffice. If you want to see more videos like this, subscribe to the channel. And make sure you check out the links in the description, where you'll find my Caverns Creatures series of comedy fantasy novels, Sam's full review of The Spell, and other fun things.